So for the first time in the Total War series, if you pre-order a Total War game, you're going to have access to 2 new cosmetic packs. So what Creative Assembly are launching here are the Heart of the Shardana pack, which will add a new reskin to all your bodyguard units, and this Avatar of the Gods pack, which will essentially add a unique skin for each of your 8 launch faction leaders. Now, aside from the fact that these cosmetic packs don't look that good compared to the base game skins that you get with the faction leaders and their bodyguards, plus cosmetic packs really are the least of our worries when it comes to Pharaoh, there is something that I don't see enough people talking about, and that is the implications that cosmetic packs has for modding support, both in Pharaoh and, if this becomes a trend in the series, the future of Total War games as a whole. The fact is, the tens of thousands of mods available for Total War games across the Steam Workshop, across Nexus mods and ModDB and other platforms are one of the primary reasons why Total War games still have a decent number of players playing them. Medieval 2 currently has a peak of 4.3 thousand people because yes, vanilla is alright, it's good, but there are also mods like the Lord of the Rings Divide and Conquer, or like Stainless Steel, or Sardoms, or Insularis Draco, loads of mods that make Medieval 2 really enjoyable to play. And that's the same for every other Total War game in the series. Rome 2, even after all these years, has a peak of 6.2 thousand players, many of them playing vanilla, but lots of them playing Medieval 1100 AD or Divide et Impera or Parabellum. And this is all just as true for the newer games as well. Three Kingdoms, Troy, the Warhammer games, all of these have thousands and thousands of mods that fix the issues that CA refuses to fix and add content that lots of players would like to see them have. Mods play an enormous role in extending the shelf life of Total War games, and what's got me a little bit worried when I look at Pharaoh is that these cosmetic packs are basically CA's way of monetizing what a lot of mods have been doing in the series so far. And from a business perspective, this is in direct conflict with allowing modders to continue to do the great work they've been doing all this time. Now, I'm not here to tell you that this is all doom and gloom, that Creative Assembly are going to cut off modding support in their Total War games, or that Pharaoh is going to be the first Total War game without any mods. Like, that's never going to happen, all right? That kind of message is completely unrealistic, and anyone who says that is totally unjustified. CA are a business, and they can see that mods add a lot of health to their player bases. They add a lot of longevity to their games. Cutting off that kind of support is just never going to happen. But what I can say is, for one thing, paid cosmetic packs means development resources were shifted away from things that could have been improved, or more that could have been done for the base game simply to maximize profits in the pre-order phase of release, which is just shameful. Maybe not as bad as locking entire factions or cultures or units, which should have been in the base game to begin with, but this is essentially the slippery slope that Total War has been falling down since Shogun 2 or Empire. And to me, this kind of practice always seems to happen when a business is cutting corners and trying to maximize profit for as little effort as possible. If I was a Creative Assembly executive looking at the thousands of mods out there, I would say the value these add at keeping many players engaged with the games is immeasurable, and certainly can't be compared with anything CA can make officially just for more money. Maybe that's wishful thinking, and since Sega's acquisition, it is well known that modding support has been more limited overall, so we do know CA is capable of doing stuff like this. We do know they are capable of going down this slippery slope even further, and for me, the cosmetic packs are a next step in this slippery slope. Now, I've already made a lot of my thoughts clear about Pharaoh and how it isn't as much of a historical game as many people would like it to be, including myself, and how in the last 10 years, we've seen Total War games morph into these character-focused arcadey player experiences, more akin to an RPG than an actual strategy game with depth. But modders have always been able to make content everyone has been able to rely on where CA has failed to deliver, and to see it be curbed even further than it already has in the series would be a huge blow to the long-term replayability of Total War games overall. And that's not something I think anyone should take lightly. And, you know, we gotta hope for the best, but expect the worst. And if cosmetic packs are the first step in this kind of new line of slippery slope, then yeah, we should be prepared for that. Granted, a lot of my content here in this channel is based around fabulous Total War mods like Dawnless Days, Divided Impera, or Imperium Surrectum. There are countless mods out there that I am happily supporting and will always support. Not being able to do that for new mods on new games would be a real disappointment for me because I love doing this. But that's not really the point. The point is the series has always been a place where throughout the gaming industry, modders could come and do almost whatever they wanted, and the modding community around these games is one of the most positive I've ever seen. I think one of the most positive anyone has ever seen. And let's be honest here, there are plenty of other bigger reasons not to pre-order or buy Pharaoh at all, which you'll see a more in-depth view on in my review video coming in a couple of weeks, but I genuinely believe this needs to be said as well. It may not be as important an issue with the game, but the fact is over 30,000 people still play the historical games in the franchise, and I guarantee at least a third of that number play them for the mods, if not more. And that is huge. That is all because modders have loads of tools, passion, and time and support to create new content for them and to fix the legacy issues that CA won't fix. And to see that kind of effort be taken for granted by CA in this way for Pharaoh is just something I need to do everything in my power to stop. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that some CA executive basically decided it's worth testing the waters with some cosmetic packs and new kind of content that we haven't done before in the Total War series in the pre-order phase of the game. We probably won't support the game with more cosmetic packs down the line, but we just want to see how this goes, and if it doesn't make an impact, then fair enough. But if it does, it's low effort and we can just make a bit more money out of our future DLCs. And in the worst case scenario, the most unlikely or extreme, of course, is that the cosmetic packs are successful enough that a business case can be made to have more cosmetic packs in the future that would have to come hand in hand with a more limited modding support by CA. Because the fact is, it doesn't make any sort of business sense to pour in resources to make cosmetic packs just like this if there are mods out there that do it better. At the end of the day, we're going to see what kind of modding support Pharaoh gets roughly a month after launch, I think is the trend with most Total War games. And we're going to be able to see whether, the CAIM tool that the Dawnless Days team are working on for Attila will be applicable here, whether modders can expand the scope of the campaign map into areas like Western Anatolia, Greece, or Mesopotamia. Time will tell. But what I wanted to address here today is that these cosmetic packs paint a picture of a future kind of series of possibilities in which CA could potentially make the business case to continue making content like this at the expense of modding support. And that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about these cosmetic packs and what they mean for Pharaoh, what they could mean for the future of Total War. I think there's a lot of speculation here. These are just kind of my honest thoughts. I don't want to doom and gloom. I'm offering you two potential scenarios about what might happen here with the cosmetic packs. I think that the more likely scenario is definitely going to be that CA continues to support Pharaoh with mods and that the cosmetic packs are a one-time thing, and we probably will see them in the future, one form or another. But for now, at least, I really don't see CA cutting mod support for Pharaoh at all. I genuinely believe that having conversations around these topics are super important. I'm not a content creator here telling you what's right and what's wrong. I'm just like you. I'm a Total War player who enjoys the games, who enjoys the series, and who hopes for the best, right? And I'm just telling you my thoughts about what I think when I see these cosmetic packs, about how I think they might impact the Total War modding scene or future Total War games if they're successful. But this is a two-way street, and I want to hear your thoughts as well. So what do you think about these cosmetic packs, and what do you think about everything I've discussed here today? I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section below. So drop all your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a like and subscribe for more just like this. I do tons of videos on Total War mods, on Total War speculation videos for new games like Pharaoh, or review videos, and I will be reviewing Pharaoh in a couple of weeks. So if you want to see that, definitely subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.